Hi all, this is Nicola from Peace of Mind Properties, your ethical property management company based in Brighton, East Sussex. We're specialists in lettings management and property renovations, and today will be a renovations video. So it's actually targeted at our investors. So before I begin, I'd like to thank all our investors that invest with our company, but on this particular video, special thanks goes out to the investors in the Wallasey Naples Road project. So I'm going to introduce you shortly to that project, but before I do, if you are not an investor with us, please do stay watching, because if you are considering investing in property, or if you already invest, you might find some bits of information that you find useful. I'm going to give nuggets of information to help people who are investing or are developing a property themselves or looking to do so. So please do stay tuned for that. Now, I will start off by the most important part of investing in any property is to work out, can you add value? Now, this particular property that we have purchased in Wallasey, we are hoping to double in price. It's not a huge growth area. There is a cap on the amount the property will be worth, but we will hopefully get all of our money back out to reinvest in our next project. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Naples Road. Now, we bought this property for £44,500. It's a 3-bedroom end terraced in Wallasey. Very cheap property, as you can tell. Now, there was a number of reasons why we got this at such a good price. We bought it at auction. Now, the first thing to remember about an auction is set yourself a limit and do not go over that limit. So we set ourselves a limit of 45,000. To be honest, at one point we thought we weren't going to get it, but we were really happy to have achieved 44,500. So that's what we purchased the property for. We knew on purchasing this property that we could add value. So a lot of investors were knocked out of this property for the simple reason it had to go through within 2 weeks. Now, most of people who get developmental finance will know that that can normally take up to 4 weeks. So bridging developmental finance, even those people were knocked out of investing in this property because it was a 2-week time limit. It was a repossessed property and it had been derelict for some time and had squatters. So a lot of reasons to put potential purchasers off. But there was another major reason. This is Naples Road. You can see very overgrown. But where people see overgrown, I see opportunity. There's a nice little bit of wasteland there, which I plan on turning into a driveway. Now, let me just close that down. The main thing that put people off was actually this. You can see this is actually a satellite view of the property. And all of this area that I am pointing to is ivy. Ivy can cause so much damage. So this ivy had actually grown up the wall, attached itself to the wall, grown over the roof, and had started to lift tiles. So again, a lot of people would just go to this property and walk away. We sent our roofer and our builder to have a look at the property, and actually we have been really lucky. Not much damage has been done to the property. A few roof tiles have been lifted. Very, very minor damage. In fact, it's been £140 to repair the roof. So very, very lucky on that. The walls, a little bit more money will need to be spent, because once we've ripped all that ivy off, we're now going to have to repoint all of those bricks just to make it watertight again. So, but overall, that's what we were expecting to do, and it's not going to cost us too much at all. So that's where we're going to be able to add value, because that scared a lot of people away. I am now going to show you a little walkthrough of Wallasey. Now, the first thing I said at the beginning of this video is please make sure you can add value. And the add value for me on this property is it is a 3-bedroom end of terraced house in a cul-de-sac where there's no off-street parking. In fact, there's only one other house that's got off-street parking, which is the one opposite ours. So off-street parking is a premium in this area. Not only that, it's actually only one of 2 3-bedroom properties. There's a lot of people who want to stay in this area. There's a good school just around the corner. In fact, the tenant that will be moving into this property, her daughter does go to a school around the corner, and people want to stay here for a long period of time. Her family is in the area. So it's an ideal investment for us, because we can add the value as well, like I say, with the off-street parking. By having that increased value of our final house valuation, it will mean we can draw money out of more money out at the mortgage stage, which will hopefully mean we get all off initial finance back. So I'm going to just start showing you Naples Road. So as I said, it's an end of cul-de-sac property. You can see the land that will be turned into a driveway. That wall will be knocked down. Now, things to think about when you're invested in an area is first find out if it is empty, are there any grants available? Now, Wirral, which is where we've purchased this property, has a lot of empty properties. As a result, grants are available. So we have been awarded a grant for this property. We could have had a £5,000 grant. I'm just showing you there where the ivy was stuck to the walls, but you can see it's all been ripped down now. We could have either a £5,000 grant, but that's where we work with the council on what tenants to put in, or a £3,000 grant. We've gone for the £3,000 grant because we like to have full control of what tenants we put into our properties. So that's why we've gone for that, but that's good news. It's going to pay for all new windows and doors for this property. Now you can see where the ivy has caused a lot of damp in the wall. It's run down this wall. That wall is absolutely sodden. So basically, if you have any moist walls, any wet walls, knock them back to brick. Okay, so those walls will get knocked back to brick. A good thing to do if you're knocking a wall back to brick is to membrane it, then insulate it, and then plasterboard over. What you're doing there is improving the thermal capacity of the wall, which will improve your EPC. You'll get a higher EPC rating, and it's better for the environment. What I've just been showing is how large that dining room is. Good news is that another area we decided we could add value is to knock down the wall between the dining room and kitchen. You probably notice a really pokey kitchen. It's going to be a much more usable space, much more family friendly space. We're going to make that a nice large dining kitchen area. There's an under cupboard space there which we will put in electricity for the tenant. I'm now showing you the very overgrown garden, and there we have a ceiling which has started to collapse, another thing that will put off a lot of potential buyers. But again, we've had a look at this. There are some loose floor joists above that ceiling, which is where the bath is, and the weight of the bath is pushing that ceiling down. So we're ripping out the bathroom, so it's not a problem. We can get to the floor joists, repair and replace those, and then board over the ceiling, and the problem will be solved. What I'm showing you now is a lot of damp in the building. You can see all that dripping. That's actually condensation. So a lot of water will have penetrated the building as a result of that ivy growing on the walls. And that water had nowhere to go. There was no heating in the property. There was no ventilation for the property. So it will make the property all feel a bit mouldy, bit damp, bit cold. The room I've just showed you there, very little to do with that room. We're going to strip that back, skim it, and it'll have a new window and be painted and will look completely different. So through to the bathroom. Now what you can see in this bathroom is a very, very low ceiling above the bath, which means no shower. We have a high ceiling though the other side, so we will reconfigure this bathroom to make sure that they can have a shower and a bath in there, and that will go where you just saw me in the mirror. So there's a boiler which we might get lucky with and recommission, but we'll wait and see. We have budgeted for a complete replumb and a complete rewire of this building. But if we can save the boiler, we will. Going through to the smallest child's bedroom, and you can see the damage that ivy really had got hold of that wall, and you can actually see where the ivy was growing up the wall. Again, the wall is soaking wet. See all that bubbling? That's all the salts in the plaster. So basically, again, knock this wall back to brick. Do not try to save this plaster. It is not going to happen. It's starting to dry out, as you can see, where the ivy has already been removed. But once we've knocked that back to brick, industrial dehumidifier, and then it will be battened, membraned, insulated, plasterboard and skin plaster. It's what will dry the quickest so that we can get this property rented, but more importantly it will improve that thermal rating of the property. Now what I'm showing you now is actually an Artex ceiling. Now this is the main master bedroom, and you can see that Artex has actually been slightly damaged. Now this is something I really do want to part information on to people. Please be careful when Artex is involved. Now Artex used asbestos in their products up till the mid 1980s, And although they stopped using asbestos in their supplies around 1985, the actual stockists and tradespeople still had a lot of the product in store and carried on using it for years to come. So actually asbestos Artex was still being used in the early 90s. So if you are going to do any work on a property that has Artex ceilings or any Artex present, please do get it tested. There's 2 Artex ceilings in this property and we will get them both tested and it will cost us around £80. So for peace of mind, it's well worth having that done. Because do not disturb it, because it's once you disturb it that you can release the asbestos fibres. So wait till it's been tested, and then as long as it's clear, you can rip it down, you can board it over, whatever you feel you need to do. If it's not clear, obviously you need to get a asbestos company to remove it professionally. So I think that's a few little tips for people that I hope they've found of value. And there will be another investor video midway through this project, so look out for that. And again, there'll be hints and tips there. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to say thank you for listening. But more importantly, if you have any questions, if you are developing your own property or you would like our advice, our project management on the property, then please do give us a call. Doesn't matter where you are in the country, we will always try to help. Our phone number is 01273 569 100. That's 01273 569 100. Or if you are wanting to become one of our investors, we generally give 8% return to all of our investors, and that's what our investors are receiving on this property. We also will do joint venture proposals, but we would want people to work with us as an investor first to build up a relationship. So if you do want to contact us and become on our investor list where we will send you what proposals we are doing, then please contact us at investors@peaceofmindproperties.co.uk. That's investors@peaceofmindproperties.co.uk. You can have a look at our website, which is peaceofmindproperties.co.uk. There's an investors page on there. And we will always be releasing content on our YouTube videos and on our Facebook page, which will help other investors and other new entrepreneurs in guiding them on the safe ways to develop a property and to invest. So thank you for your time. I hope it's been of value. Goodbye.